Alright guys, I know there's been a lot of videos recently, but this one is not necessarily one you need to watch. I just wanted to show you how to fill out this chart if it looks super confusing. This is basically just a bunch of practice problems for you to practice finding the sine, cosine, tangent of all of these different angle measures. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a couple in degrees, a couple in radians, and then I'll kind of let you go from there. So this first one says the sine of 45 degrees. Well, the reference angle to 45 degrees is just 45 degrees, right? What quadrant is this in? It's in the first quadrant. And then find the ratio. Well, 45 degrees always is square root 2 over 2. And because it's in the first quadrant and we're talking about sine, it's going to be positive. So then the next one says, what is the cosine of 210 degrees? Well, 210 is 30 degrees past 180. So then this is a 30 degree reference angle. It's going to be in the third quadrant. And we're talking about the x value of 30 degrees, which is going to be square root 3 over 2. But this time, because we're in the third quadrant, it's a negative square root 3 over 2. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, that's 2. Let's do one that's like sine of 180 degrees. Okay, so the reference angle for 180 degrees is there is no reference angle for 180 degrees because it's on an axis. And then what quadrant is it in? It's not in a specific quadrant because, again, it's on an axis. And the sine is the y value at 180 degrees. Well, if we're at 180 degrees, we're way out here. The y doesn't change at all, so then the y value is just 0. So if something ends up being on an axis, that's kind of how you would write it. There's no reference angle, just say it's on an axis. There's no quadrant, just say it's on an axis, okay? Things like that. So those were a couple examples in degrees. Let's take a look at a couple examples in radians. I don't know, let's do the tangent of 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3, because this pi over 3 tells us that the reference angle is pi over 3 radians. Okay, 2 pi over 3, if we think about it, 1 pi over 3 is here, 2 pi over 3 is here, so that's the second quadrant. And then it wants tangent, so that's going to be y over x, so that's square root 3 over 2 over 1/2. So then that's going to tell us it's the square root of 3. Okay. And then we'll do one more, say the tangent of 0. Why not? Tangent of 0. So tangent of 0 is on an axis, right? So that means there's no quadrant, no reference angle because it's on an axis. We're talking tangent of 0. So 0 degrees is here. The y is 0. The x is 1, so this is just going to be 0 for the tangent of 0. And we'll just do, should we do one more? Yeah, why not? Let's do the sine of pi over 6. So pi over 6 is going to be the reference angle here because it's a 6 on the bottom. That's going to tell us it's in the first quadrant because it's the same as the reference angle. Sine is the y value. Pi over 6 is equivalent to 30 degrees, if we're talking degrees. So the y value at 30 degrees is 1/2. Okay, so that's kind of how you just fill out this table, guys. Come in, ask me questions if you have any. Sweet. Have a great Friday, guys.